Wolf Brother Methos, my man.
What is up, my brother?
Not a whole lot, my man. We are live. We are live streaming. This is the first live streaming that we have where the two of us are on, but in remote areas. So I'm pretty excited about this.
At the very least, it's our first successful one. We won't count the number of times that we did it and it didn't work.
Exactly. And it seems to be working just fine. So first of all, well, we don't have any viewers right now, but once they start checking us out and what this is all about, guys, we want to welcome you to this live feed. If you're getting on it, probably won't be live, but regardless, the new FAQ has just come out, the big FAQ. And
as we coined the term earlier, it's what WTF with the FAQ.
That's exactly right. So if you guys have already had a chance to take a look at it, I'm sure it's been out for a day now. Came out yesterday, and got a chance to look it over. Matter of fact, I have it here on my screen, and I'll share it here in just a minute. But there are a few things that we found that there were some good, and there was some not so good that you know. And I think this is Game Workshop's way of trying to balance the armies out, try to balance the game out. It seems like it's very typical of GW to tinker with something, even if it's already working. I don't know. Is that that's just my thought on it. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sure that they're attempting, and they're looking at it from a high level perspective, right, where there are some balance issues. Unfortunately, what happens with this, and I hate this, but it happens in video games too, where they make changes to things that affect everyone, especially, us as the average gamer. But like a lot of these changes that they make are because of what the top tournament players are doing, right? The top 10%. And I don't feel like all the changes that need to be made because of some things that power players and the top 10% are doing. I don't feel like all that trickles down to us, the common gamers. So, but definitely, Freak is right. There's definitely a reaction to this. Our own little local gaming group, we kind of had I won't say heated discussion, but we had a very passionate discussion with our local gaming group. We're all on a WhatsApp chat together, and our local gaming group, there was some mixed opinions, and those mixed opinions were very strong in all directions. So we're like, this has got to be a video.
Definitely. I'm sorry, I'm sending, matter of fact, I'm sending a message to our group here, letting them know that we're on. Well, I wasn't sure if this was going to be successful, so we didn't really broadcast it much.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Freak has done a lot of studying about the Google Hangouts lately. And so we can, bring you more of these sit and chat live kind of deals where we can chat with you guys about different subjects. I can let Freak read the comments while I get in some painting, because I've been on the road for, 3 or 4 weeks now, and I haven't really had a chance to do any hobby.
Right. And you've been missing games too, man.
I am missing some games. I need a game in the worst way.
Definitely. So basically what we're going to do is I've got the list here, and let me see if this will let me share. Let's see.
Before we get to bitching, unsaltedly talking about the FAQ, let me just start off by saying my usual, what is up, beautiful people? Each one of you guys, viewers and friends, are all beautiful people, and we're so glad you joined us.
Yeah. Right. And look, guys, this is just what we talk about here is, of course, our opinion. There's nothing, there's no absolutes. We don't believe in absolutes. We believe in our opinion, and everybody has one. This is just our thoughts concerning, what we are seeing. And I'll be honest with you. I think, I don't know. Sometimes Methos and I share the reactions. Sometimes, I'm calm, cool, collective, and then he's the one that's exploding, or vice versa. I'm the one that's, you know, blowing up, and he's calm, cool, and but I think this time we share some frustrations. But let's just get to it. Hey guys, Glenn Collins, how are you, sir?
Let's take all this with a grain of salt too, because we're just two guys who play in a very small, local-friendly gaming community scene, and we're not very good, and we're not very competitive. So these are just a couple of opinions of a couple of guys, entry-level players.
Right, exactly. So hey, you know what? Take it with a grain of salt, but do your studying, do your own due diligence, and check it out. Check out the FAQ. We're going to go over it, you know, and you know, as a matter of fact, I hear you, child. By the way, we're looking at the comments right now. Richard from the Nerd Life has joined us. What's up, my brother? Graham Collin also. Tiddly Peeps. Hellworks. Our brother Hellchild is on. So this is going to be a good discussion. All right, so let's see if I can share this this file here. Bear with me. All right. So this is it.
Very nice.
This is it here. Now we can just go over it really quick. We're just going to go over the main bullet points, and we're going to highlight the ones that are probably the most, you know, the ones that really I think affect Methos and myself the most. Okay,
yeah,
so
let's talk about the big one last and kind of just give our general thoughts on the others.
Okay, wait, you want to do that one last, or you want to do that right now?
Yeah, let's do that one last, because we know we're going to spend a lot of time on that.
Right,
there will definitely be some help.
Totally agree. Okay, so let's look at the psychic focus. That's one of the main ones here. Now we'll read it out to you. It says, with the exception of smite, each psychic power can be attempted only once per turn, rather than once per psyker per turn. In addition, unless the psyker attempting to manifest smite has either the Brotherhood of Psychers, see the Codex, blah, 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 or Brotherhood of Sorcerers ability, see the Codex Thousand Suns, you must add 1 to the warp charge value of smite for each attempt. Whether successful or not, that has been made to manifest. Smite during a given psychic phase to a maximum warp charge value of 11. So basically what that's saying, if I'm reading it right, Methos, is that if, let's say, I've already made a successful or unsuccessful smite psychic phase for that, the next one, instead of a 5-up, it will have to be a 6-up in order to obtain the charge. Is that correct?
You got it, my brother.
Okay, and basically, the more that you use that particular psychic power, then the more you'll have to add incrementally the cost for your charge. So in a sense, essentially, you can actually be, you know, using smite, but it can cost you up to 11 warp charges. So that's pretty hefty. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, I think having been on the receiving end of a smite spam game before, I think that's a really good game. I understand it really screws with the way, say, Grey Knights and Thousand Suns work, but I mean, personally, I think that's pretty good, because if you've ever been, there's nothing you can do about mortal wounds, right? So if you're on the receiving end and you're just taking it, you know, up the rear with mortal wounds every turn, it can feel very out of control. So I can understand that one.
No, I agree, and I think that's actually a good balance. I really,
like, you can still do it. No one's taking the ability away from you. It is just going to be a little tougher each time you do it.
Right, exactly. It's going to cost more. So they're not nerfing the actual, like for say, they're not nerfing the amount of damage or the way to go about, you know, performing that particular psychic power or that particular focus, but it is going to cost you more the more you use it. So again, I think it's a decent balance.
And the cool thing is that you can still make the same decisions you would make in one of these games. It's just that your dice rolls are going to get a little less likely. But I mean, if you're rolling hot, you can still get the same outcome.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So that same outcome is still achievable.
Totally agree, my man. the next one is going to be targeting characters. All right. So basically, it's saying. By the way, before we move on, I mean, is there anything that we need to add about the psychic focus, this new FAQ?
No, man. I think we both covered our thoughts on it.
Right on. All right. Targeting characters. An enemy character with the wounds characteristic of less than 10 can only be chosen as a target in the shooting phase if it is both visible to the firing model and it is the closest enemy unit to the firing model. Now that we've already known. This says ignore other enemy characters with a wounds characteristic of less than 10 when determining if the target is the closest enemy unit to the firing model. This means that if any other enemy unit other than other characters with a wounds characteristics of less than 10 or closer, whether they are visible or not, then the enemy character cannot be targeted.
I got to say, I'm in agreement with this one. And I think we've been kind of playing this way in recent battle reports because we knew it's been a beta rule for a while. We knew it was coming, and we've kind of been playing our characters this way. So this one's not too bad. Just unless you're intentionally trying to find the loophole, right? Trying to hide characters behind other characters with things like some of that assassin shenanigans that was going on.
Right.
I think overall this isn't going to hit too many people too hard. And even someone who does use a party of just characters, like my little Space Wolf kill squad I've been running with my AdMech lately, you know, Space Wolves love to run packs of champions all together. And even then, I haven't felt like in our recent battle reports like this rule has taken anything away from me. So It's been cool.
Just a quick pause. Just going to cover the guys that are jumping on here. Oversoul Gaming, how are you, friend?
Justin, my brother.
Welcome back. Welcome to yeah. This is the first time that we actually do a live remote feed, and it's been successful. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool that we're getting to do this. And Richard just left, man. Take care, buddy.
Good night, my brother.
But anyway, going back to the discussion. Now, I do have a question about this because this is kind of focusing on, the targeting the character. We've always played this, but does this affect, let's say, like, what I've been trying to work with, such as snipers that have the character.
The snipers will be unaffected. They can just target the character you want.
Right. Okay. And that's what I was thinking.
Like if you got your Cyclone biker,
right.
You've got Lysander out front trying to tank shots for him. If they're the only two things, or if they're the first two things in range, then I can have my option of shooting at Lysander or Cyclone biker now.
Right.
Just because Lysander's the closer one, that doesn't give him, make him a mandatory choice for me to shoot at now.
Right. Graham Collins, yeah, I know, man. 2:50 is kind of early in the morning. The sun's not even out during that time, my man. He says it's pretty early over there. Yawn.
Sorry for the time difference, my friend.
I know, man. We just couldn't help it, but I think we were so worked up we had to put this out. So we understand if you have to go, my man. You can always come back and check us out. When your eyes are open and not heavy. So no worries.
I just appreciate that you even showed up, my friend, especially as early in the morning as this is for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Or if, hey, you say, screw it, like Hellchild says, nah, I got this, then love to have you along the journey here. Okay. All right, moving along. Let's see.
That works by Hellchild, by the way. Go follow him already on the YouTubes. If you can find him, give him a little push. Go ahead and start putting out some video content. This guy's going to be awesome. This guy brings a ton of passion to the hobby. You can definitely see it whenever he starts talking about the hobby.
Yep.
And he's a fellow Wolf brother, so I love the guy. Love that guy.
Here it goes. All right, guys. So you can see now. These are beta matched play rules. Now, bear in mind that they are indeed beta, which means that they're not official yet. Exactly. But it just depends on which way the wind's going to blow on this thing. So really quick, I'm just going to read the bullet point, and it's going to cover the bulk of what this is saying. All right, let me try to get it lined up here. Got to make sure everybody can see this. Okay, come on, there we go, a little more. All right, so this is talking about tactical reserves, right? So originally, it's been my understanding that if you have, let's say, a squad of Inceptors, Terminators, you know, even like Lysander and Terminator armor, you know, all these particular models or units can teleport strike or orbital strike. Okay, so basically they can orbital strike or teleport strike on the first turn, and they have to do so within 9 inches away or beyond 9 inches away from the enemy model. I mean, am I correct in that analysis? I mean, that's how we've played it. So
yep, that's been 8th edition all along.
Right, 8th edition. So what that has done, especially for me in 8th edition, it's allowed me and my Imperial Fist to actually get very, very close, very, very personal, very quickly. I've always played in 7th edition. I played a very shooty type of army, and I've always had problems getting up close and personal in melee. Never was really successful in that type of tactic. And so here comes 8th edition. It says, okay, guys, well, you know what? We're going to make this really easy for everyone. If you've got models that can teleport strike, well, now you can actually jump down within 9 inches of the enemy. And if everything goes well, you can go ahead and charge. But here's the thing, though. It still was a challenge because you still have to deal with Overwatch, and you still have to make a successful charge.
And 9 inches, statistically, yeah. 9 out of 12 is not very likely, right?
But
so
exactly.
The average dice roll, we're looking at 6 out of 12. But so
right.
9 out of 12, I think, was nice and challenging, you know, enough for us to be able to be like, okay, you know what? I may not make it, but this is worth the risk.
Right, exactly right. And so it was a decision that we wanted to make, that we had there, and say, okay, well, do I want to go ahead and oh, by the way, you still have the new stratagems that came out that says, okay, well, you know, I think it's called the hunt or something like that, where the moment that your guys try to land, that they can detect it and they can shoot them out of the friggin' air.
It's called something else, but yeah, it's definitely a.
It is a stratagem, yeah. But anyway, so you had that risk. I've gotten my tail blown out of the sky so many times, detected, you know, and I'm like, okay, that was a dumb move. But okay, there was always a risk of deploying, you know, your orbital striking, you know, teams or whatever within 9 inches of it. So, but here's the thing, it was always an option, and I liked having those options. So, okay, here is GW's new suggestion to tactical reserves. I'm going to go ahead and read it before I start making my interpretation of this, so everyone can kind of, you know, check it out here. All right. Instead of being set up on the battlefield during deployment, many units have the ability to be set up on teleportariums in high orbit, in reserve, etc., in order to arrive on the battlefield mid-game as reinforcements. When setting up your army during deployment for a matched play game, at least half the total number of units in your army must be set up on the battlefield. I understand that. I get it.
And that's current.
Exactly.
Half the number. That's not the new one.
Yeah, you can't just, you know, hold, you know, the majority of your units in reserve and is okay, I'll pop them when I want them. You know, that's crap. And the combined power rating of all the units you set up on the battlefield during deployment, including those that are embarked within transports that are set up on the battlefield, must be at least half of your army's total power level, even if every unit in your army has an ability that would allow them to be set up elsewhere. All right. Here's where it gets weird. Furthermore,
just to touch on that,
Yeah, go ahead.
That part I don't mind. You know, the fact that they went from just total number of units to also power level, I get that. That's no big deal because I can see where somebody would try to put a lot of the cheap stuff like scouts and stuff on the field and then put their really damaging, expensive units in reserve, and maybe that wasn't as. I can see that, you know.
Right.
So switching to power level, not a big deal. That part's okay.
I agree. I totally agree. I think it's a pretty good balance. Here's where it gets kind of goofy. Furthermore, in match play games, any unit that arrives on the battlefield during a player's first turn must be deployed wholly within controlling player's deployment zone, even if its ability would normally let it be set up anywhere else. This does not apply to a Gene Stealer Cults unit that is being set up according to the Cult Ambush ability, or to units that are set up after the first battle round has begun, but before the first turn begins, such as those set up via the forward operatives or strike from the shadowed stratagems. Finally, any unit that has not arrived on the battlefield by the end of the third battle round in a match play game counts as having been destroyed. All right. Let the salt begin.
You know, what makes me the saltiest here is when they brought back turn one, being able to deep strike and assault the same turn. They said that this was a fix for melee-based armies. Because at first, when they were debuting the 8th edition rules, it was just like, oh, okay, well, it's looking a lot like, you know, this game is really shifting in favor of shooting armies. They were like, no, we've got some things coming for melee armies. It's no big deal, brah. Right. And then they came out with the ability to deep strike and assault same turn, and being able to do that turn one. And I was like, okay, you know what? They are following through with some of their commitment. They are, they are sticking to helping us with melee-based armies. I'm enjoying this.
Right.
And then they take that bit, then they took that shit right back away.
No, that's exactly right. And here, this is the part that really gets me, okay? I'm going to highlight their wording here. We therefore felt that it's necessary to rein in the power of these abilities. And so during the first battle round, such units can only be set up within their own deployment zone. This means that to be most efficient, such units may want to wait until the second battle round. Note that we have not applied the restrictions to Gene. Yeah, we get this. But here's the problem, okay? You've now restricted my ability to be able to deploy this unit on the first round within enemy territory. I have to do it on the second turn.
Or third.
Or by the end of the third. Well, that's it.
Yep, there's just two options.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me just stop sharing here because I think we've seen the bulk of that mess. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Like I said, go ahead.
I broke it down for one of my friends mathematically earlier. He didn't agree, right. And that's fine. It's okay for us to not agree. But this is where I see it. This is mathematically 1,000% in favor of shooting armies. Okay, and yep. Which is, you can see this is what GW is pushing right now. The style of army that they're selling right now is to load up all your Primaris babies in the bag, get you a brick of 10, 20 Hellblasters, sit them in the back, put you a lieutenant and a captain in the back, okay, or one of those type things, give you a command tank and some Lehman Russes, your tile gun line, sit them all in the bag, give aura abilities, let them re-roll 1,000 re-rolls, and that's the kind of army that GW is selling right now, okay? This is only further promoting that because now what you've done is before it was 50-50, okay? Whoever rolled first turn, Alpha Strike is hardcore, whether you were melee or you were gunline based, right? If a gunline army went first, they could shoot my army off the table or at least damage it to a much lower grade first turn, just shooting crap off the table. You can see I'm about to want to slip there. And okay, so
I don't have a way to bleep you, man.
but then by the same turn, or by the same point, my melee army could deep strike in, make it into combat first turn, and also wreck stuff. So now we had a 50-50 ability to be able to, hi, Michelle. No, wait, no, that's
Yeah, that's her.
that's Jennifer. Yeah.
No, that's Michelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're live. Always, always. Just met Mrs. Freak.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hi, Michelle. So it was 50-50, right? Gun lines or melee could wreck your opponent's lines first turn. Now, I have several memories of somebody's Riptide line deleting half of my arm, literally 50% of my army first turn. So I know that can still happen. Now that you've taken away this first turn ability from melee, it is 1,000% in the gun line's favor. A gun line can wreck my lines first turn. I have no ability, unless I give up my melee playstyle, I have no ability to do the same to my gun line opponent.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. Here's the way I was able to look at, because here's, okay, the way I understood and read the FAQ is that there were people complaining that there was just hordes of teleport striking units jumping right next to their line and decimating everyone on the first turn. Okay. All right. Right. So the select few that they have that ability, that, you know, they're going in there and they're just very OP. All right. I get it. You know, work on that. Why not just limit that? You know, find a way to be able to make that mesh or work. But instead, it's like, oh, wait a minute. You just stabbed your friend with a pencil. We're banning all pencils. What? What?
Absolutely.
What the kind of stupid, retarded ass idea is that? Why? Okay, so because of the small minority that it just so happens that, okay, we came in here, oh, blow your face up, you know, fine. We're going to take it all from everybody. Really?
And
I'm sorry.
And here's the thing. I've noticed a lot of people that are in favor for this rule. And I've noticed this both on of course, Facebook, where we see a lot of this information, but also in our own local gaming group. You know, there was a lot of people who were all in support of this rule, which is cool. You know, support what you want to support. I couldn't help but notice that the vast majority, with the exception of one gentleman in our gaming group, the ones who supported the rule were gunline armies.
Right.
So
that's exactly right. I mean, it doesn't take anything for them to just shoot us down, gun us down. I mean, here's the thing: we got to foot slog our way all the way down the line just to be able to, you know. Okay, like for example, we got to get close enough for rapid fire. For crying out loud, you know, bolter guns aren't crap unless they're at least, you know, half the distance of their ability. So to be able to, you know, get the most out of them, you got to at least be within rapid fire distance. Otherwise, yeah, you know, you're kind of wasting them. Yeah, I like that. I like that comment too there, Hellchild. Yeah, ice cream makes us fat, so ban all the spoons. Right, exactly. That's exactly right. You know, so the cool thing about having this ability is that it allowed my Imperial Fists to be able to be the siege masters that they're supposed to be, drop them down, and have an opportunity to be able to whittle down, you know, some of their tough hitters. Now, again, it's not always successful. I have not always had success in doing so. I played a game against Tau Friday night, and it was a Riptide that was shredding my guys left and right. I finally deployed my Terminators and Lysander, my captain, for the Imperial Fist, and I was able to go in there and just put a smackdown, finally closing that chapter of that freaking Riptide. So, okay, if I were not able to do that, you know, I really think that Riptide would have been able to just decimate everything that I already had on the table. Okay, he was already putting wounds on my Predator, already putting wounds on some Dreadnoughts, already putting wounds on a couple other units. So what am I to do? Oh, wait, I've got an option. Teleport strike. Wonderful. Let us try that. Oh, Wow, I stopped him. So
You absolutely did.
it's a good tool. Now, I understand that there are going to be some very overpowered units like Tau, for crying out loud, or other units that not only are they so freaking overpowered, they ignore cover, they like Markalites on every damn thing, and so for somehow that just kind of exponentially increases the amount of hits. All right. So besides that, oh, they can just drop out of the air also and blow you to the crap. Right. Okay. So basically, these gun lines don't want to have an equal playing field. They want to maintain their OP position. Meanwhile, cry, oh, that's totally unfair. Come on, man. Give us a break.
And even then, I don't think deep strike shooting things are nearly as affected by this as deep strike melee. I think deep strike melee is what's hurt all the worst, because if you think about it, and someone said this to me earlier today, that I can still deep strike turn 2. I shouldn't cry so hard about not being able to punch something in the face turn 1. And it's not even about punching something in the face turn 1. If, like we talked about earlier, a 9 out of 12 when the statistical average is a 6 out of 12 is not guaranteed by any means. So when you're looking at it, you're like, I can't even come in until turn 2. I'm statistically not likely to make that charge turn 2. So at the very least, we're looking at turn 3 before that unit is useful and able to start making up its points. Now, just from the math alone there, that's a lot of wasted points. If you have had those units out of the game, half the game, that's a big loss right there. At least something shooty deep striking in, like the Inceptors or the Tau suits you talked about, they can at least come in and be useful turn 2.
Right.
So they're still getting the majority of the game. So while it still sucks to miss that turn 1, they're not useless half the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course not. I mean, again, it's just another advantage, and it just goes to show that GW does favor, gun lines. It's statistically proven. It's right there in front of us. So I don't know. Honestly, it's still beta. And I think you and I, we've already made this determination off air that until it's beta, it's pretty much going to stay out of our games and battle reports.
Yeah, until it's official. It's going to. Right. The beta is definitely going to be not used by us.
Exactly. It doesn't make good sense, and I've kind of heard from both sides of the world here. You've got some guys that are absolutely, for this FAQ, for this new rule, and they're really, really pushing for it. And others like us who are absolutely, completely livid and against it. Okay. Let's just go back to. Again, I'm not a Space Wolf player. I don't play Space Wolves. I play against Space Wolves, but I don't have a Space Wolf army. But I do understand the issues that go with and the challenges in actually playing Space Wolves. And one of them, just being around you and our buddy Atlas, is that same thing. Oh, by the way, Atlas, I believe, is on. Yeah, he's actually on. Hey, buddy.
That's my brother.
Yeah, here you guys are running, what's supposed to be the most melee army around. Okay, that's the Space Wolves. That's kind of like their MO. It's up front and personal. Smash them in the face. I mean, why the hell would they make axes and hammers and you name it, and swords, right? Melee. This is the army. This is what they are. This is who they are. Okay. Now, in 7th edition, Wolf Cavalry, the Thunderwolf Cavalry was so crazy. I remember playing against you a couple of times with those things, and I remember trying to play you to the point to where I had to figure out a strategy to not get my lunch ate. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a challenge, but it was the mark of the Space Wolf. It was there. So I
brought my cavalry to every game.
Yeah, man. And
so for the one or two occasions, I was like, I'm going to give you a break from the cavalry.
And for that, I thank you, sir. But I just now at 8th edition, cavalry is completely crap. It's just not any good. It just does nothing. And so we find new ways in 8th edition to be able to compensate for the lack of being able to be a heavy melee army. And so we try to use some of these other tactics. One tactic was to teleport strike. Like for example, Atlas would drop at freaking Lone Wolf the back of my line 9 inches, and now I'm distracted. Like, you bastard.
It was a really good strategy.
Yeah, great strategy.
It was so good I stole it from him.
Yeah, great distraction. And it made me turn around to kind of deal with that threat, because I tell you what, Lone Wolf with Storm Shield and 2-up save, no bueno. That's what you call a major sore butt. Don't like it.
Some people like the sore butt. We don't judge.
So, I don't know, man. I think
another thing someone said to me today is that they didn't understand why all of our feelings were so hurt, because if we look back to not too many months ago, we were in 7th edition, and a deep strike had to be turned to anyways, and you had to roll for it then. But that was honestly a different game, because the game has gotten more gun line centric, since 8th edition. So the fact that you could tie something up in combat and keep it in combat. The fact that units had to dedicate their fire to something instead of all being able to fire at something different. There were a lot of buffs that were given to shooting armies in 8th edition that we needed to have a buff to melee. And this deep strike ability, first turn, being able to charge after the deep strike, these were things that helped compensate for that. So it overall was just a different game. And now that, before that brought some of the balance back, but now melee is suffering again. And I hate to keep bringing the same point up, but the fact of the matter is that GW has definitely gone in a way that favors the shooting army. So I don't know. They made us a bunch of promises when they released 8th edition. They said, it's okay, don't worry. Melee will still be more than viable. And right now, if you look at any Space Wolf list that has made it to a major tournament, they're all assault cannon Razorback spam, or they call them assbacks in the Space Wolf community. Okay, that's it. Assault cannon Razorbacks with dreadnoughts. The only melee that's going on is the dread. Dread spam is a common thing all over 8th edition. So if I want to be melee based, then I need to make an all dread list apparently at this point. But even then, you can still take down dreads. Especially if someone is running Melta spam, Last Cannon spam, Mortal Wound spam, like we talked about with Smite. So there are no tournament melee Space Wolf lists now, and now it's just tanking further and further down.
Yeah, it's almost like they've actually dropped them down to your normal average vanilla. Really, that's exactly how they're operating now. It's close to middle. Now, here's the thing. Okay, there are some people that are saying, well, the Space Wolf Codex has not come out yet, and everybody's saying, oh, just wait and see, wait and see, wait and see. My concern with the wait and see again, I don't play Space Wolves, but you know, you're my brother, and I feel kind of like I'm picking up an offense here. You know, it's kind of weird, but it makes perfect sense of why, you know, anybody who plays Space Wolves is really upset, especially what they've done to them, especially with their Thunderwolf Cavalry. But one of the problems that I'm seeing,
I'm taking that personally.
yeah, I mean, it's a load of crap. But what was
I feel like when they nerfed Thunderwolf Cavalry, there was somebody sitting at GW Incorporated and going, how can we bone Methos Christianata in the A the worst? In fact, let's not use any lube. Let's use lava soap. Anyways.
With a rotary tool. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. And okay. But again, you know, you've stripped completely. I mean, not even an index, nothing. You completely stripped the Space Wolves and turned them into really nothing better than Imperial Fists or any other vanilla army. You've really done.
They're basically vanilla Marines with cool dreads. That's what they
exactly are. So why the hell do you even want to put out a codex? Just leave it as regular Marines. I don't understand. It's just, you've given no indication, GW, that you're going to restore the Space Wolves back to their original punch in the face glory. I don't see it.
The crazy thing is that in some of the Space Wolf forums I've been in, people talk all the time now about how if you make Wolfguard bikers, they're actually better and more cost efficient than taking Thunderwolf Cavalry. And people say all the time, well, Thunderwolves have just changed their roles now. You got to use them only against infantry. First of all, how many people do you know that play an infantry list without, you know, major invul saves? Nobody. This is the age of let's load up as many tanks as we can. You know, let's throw in a lot of elite units. Nobody really plays with just a mass load of infantry unless they're intentionally going for infantry spam like your cultist spam or your orc hordes, that kind of thing. Very few people actually play infantry. So I'm supposed to be taking my Thunderwolf to fight what now?
Yeah, it's a load of crap. And just to take a little detour, this is for Oversoul Gaming. You're welcome. Anyway, there was comments on where that came from, so that's my poop joke. Sorry, guys. That's just me.
Freak and the poop jokes.
So I don't know what they're going to do. As we're wrapping this up, you know, there's talk that GW's actually getting a load of from every source, from every place, and it's not been positive. There's been a lot of people really complaining about that particular rule, and there's a good possibility that may not even, you know, it might not even become official. I hope that it won't. I hope they really look into this. I hope that they find a better way to balance everything. You know, I can accept the balance. What I can't accept is a blanket, you know, ta-da, you know, we're going to wipe everything out and, okay, y'all can't play nice, but take all the toys. What? No, it was just only one little bratty kid that was, you know, taking the checkers and eating them. It was just him. Everybody else was playing checkers. So you're going to take everybody's checkerboards and checkers?
And I know, guys, we've kind of strayed from the topic here, gone from the deep strike rule to just general bitching about the state of Malay. But I feel that this this deep strike rule is nothing but just a continuation of the sad state of Malay in this edition.
Yeah. No, totally agree. I mean, guys, let us know what you think. You know, I mean, everybody has different armies. I only play Imperial Fist. I only have one particular army that I play. Methos has two, his Admech and his Imperial Fist. And here's, here's his Space Wolves. Here's this crazy thing that what Methos has been doing is that he has to supplement. He has to be able to supplement his Admech with Space Wolves, but the majority of his army now, of his list, is going to be Admech. Why? Why is that? Why are people gravitating towards shooty-ass armies? What advantages do you have to be a melee army?
Speaking of which, I really, just because I want to see another melee-based army succeed, I really hope the orcs get some good things when the Codex comes out. I really want to see the orcs shine. Yeah,
I totally agree. I absolutely totally agree, because it seems like the orcs have gotten a bad shake of everything as well. I mean, it's just I don't know. Anyway, but anyway, guys, let us know about your thoughts. You know, has your army been affected? If it has, put it in the comments. Give us some feedback. Let us know what your thoughts are. If not, do you support this crap rule? And if so, why? Tell us why. Tell us why you feel that it is a balance, and try to make sense of it, because it doesn't make sense to me.
There are a couple more that aren't going to affect us massively, but still kind of affect us. Battle Brothers rule. So all of the units in each detachment that are battle forged must have at least one faction keyword in common. In addition, this word cannot be Chaos, Imperium, Eldari, Ynnari, or Tyranids. So it takes out the Imperial soup kind of thing. But that's in each detachment. So, I mean, if you were playing legit anyways, I understood the rule before as if I were to take a different faction, like my Admech and Space Wolves, they needed to be in different factions anyways. Or different detachments anyways. So I'm already kind of abiding by this. It's not going to affect me too much, but I can definitely see where people who have been running Imperial soup lists, if they weren't already going by this, it might be a relatively big change.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one that we would need to look closely. I think it's doable.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm already doing it by accident because I thought this was the rule before.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Exactly. So it's not a real. I don't think it's a real game changer. Let's see what else is on this. Okay, and these are all the replacements, addendums, blah blah blah. By the way, you can go on to the Warhammer 40K community page. Find the you can actually find this the FAQs. And download them specifically for your army, and you can see how they affect your army directly. So, but that is pretty much it. That is the Warhammer 40K, the big FAQ number.
There's one big one we're missing.
Which one? What's that?
The number of data sheets you can take in a battle.
Data sheets. And what let me see. I wonder which FAQ was that in.
Go further down.
Get them going down. World of Phoenix, related abilities which ignored wounds. Organized.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right, let me get it lined up here. Okay. I'm just making sure it lines up with the actual viewer. Okay. So basically it says if you're using match play for an organized event such as a tournament, we suggest using the table below, as well as helpful guides to the size of the battlefield and game length. The number of detachments each player can take in their army is restricted, as is the number of times a player's army can include a particular data sheet. Of course, if you are organizing such an event, you should feel free to modify these guidelines to better suit your event's own needs, schedules, etc. You can only include the same data sheet in the battle forged army up to a maximum number of times, depending upon the points limit for that game, as described below. I'm not opposed to this.
Right. I'm okay with this because here's the thing. I'm a little sad I can't just take 4 or 5 lone wolves in the game anymore. However, that to me outweighs the benefits I'm getting because we have definitely seen some spam lists. In fact, Freak and I, we have a couple of friends that they're great guys when they're not building lists.
Right.
But when they are building lists, they're that guy. Like,
yep.
Wait, Fire Raptors are very efficient for what they do. Points efficient for what they do. I need 7 of them.
Yep.
Wait, Space Wolf Interval Dreads are very efficient for what they do. I need 10 of them. Wait, the new Armiger Knights are really efficient for what they do. I need a whole army of Armiger Warglaives. Like, this is definitely this person. These couple of people that are friends of ours. You know, they're really good players and they make very effective lists. I've never seen them in tournaments, but I imagine they would really rock at tournaments because they make very effective, very, just very point effective lists. But definitely I can see this is going to be a hit to them because it's going to limit some of the spam. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to fully limit spam because there are some of the things that you think about that people spam now. Like I've seen one army that's like Tank Commander and then a whole bunch of Gleam and Rust spams, right? We're going to have like 3 Spearhead detachments. And it's like 9 tanks, which can still happen. You're just going to need to put them into squadrons now. So they'll still be able to get them. I mean, but it'll be nerfed slightly in that now that they're squadrons, we can put, we can start rolling some of the damage over, which is cool.
Now, the cool thing about this particular rule, it's actually really flexible because this is really geared more towards the tournament organized events type of games. This is a little more, it gives you more structure and it puts everybody in a specific playing field, and it gives certain limits to the amount of detachments that you can take based upon the amount of points that you are taking in your army. And also that goes in alongside with the battlefield size. For example, your points limit is up to 1,000. You only get to play on a 4x4, and you can take up to a number of detachments and up to 2 data sheets. Then, of course, the game is up to 2 hours. Then, so on and so forth, 1,000 to 2,000. You can take up to 3 detachments per army. So this is not a bad thing. It just kind of helps you, it's more for organization for larger or more organized tournament style games. I mean, that's how I'm reading it.
Right. And it's definitely going to limit things like I need 7 squads of Dark Reapers.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading Hellchild's comment here. Spam goes on sandwiches, not battlefields, and keep Bubba away from spam aisle, freak.
I love spam.
Yeah, every time.
Oh my God, we have to do a video series of Bubba grilling now, and the video just starts with, I heard spam was good in 8th edition. And there he is grilling up some spamwiches.
Yeah. It's,
you could even we could even do a video of throughout the rest of the video, people are trying to play games of 8th edition, and Bubba's just coming around trying to get people to take his spam sandwiches. Be hilarious. You just have that sitting next to your desk.
So I heard y'all was saying something about spam.
Yes, spam is good. Spam is very good.
Freak was here saying something about, spam. I just happened to walk by the door. And I said, dang, man, you have spam up in there. You got spam in here? And he's like, no. And I said, well, dang, boy. You said you had spam in here, and I come in here, and ain't no damn spam.
That.
Methos, what you gonna do with this boy, man? This boy don't make no damn sense.
I'll find something to do with him.
Oh, good, man, because he just no good. He don't even play right. He can't play this game. You just gonna have to play me, man. You need somebody that's competitive. I learned that word in the dictionary. It's a big word.
Guys, we're gonna have to showcase Bubba's armies for you. He plays Drunk Angels.
That's right, my drunk angel. Them things are badass. They just shoot you right in the ass.
I love your custom Gorilla Man.
Yeah, he's trying to take him away from me, man. That dude kept saying, that ain't your guy. That was the terrain. No, it wasn't. That was my Gorilla Man. That was my primate. I didn't want him messing with me, man. But anyway, that dude, I wanted to kick him in the nuts. That's pretty stupid.
You made him blow up, so you made him scream so hard he exploded.
Yeah, he did, doofus. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. Hey, good talk to you, damn Methos.
Later, Bubba. So, special guest Bubba, everybody. If you guys would like to see more Bubba on the channel, let us know down in the comments below.
What the hell just happened?
Did you take a bathroom break or something, my man? Bubba came in here and took over the channel.
Actually, he said that the wife had called me, and I went out there. Next thing you know, I found him here in my chair. I don't like that guy.
You got spam in here? Hey, the missus is calling you.
That's what he said? That cheat on a bastard. What did he tell you?
He said I needed to play against someone more competitive.
That's it. I was wondering why he came by here. He was just wanting my food. Anyway. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of that freak show, no pun intended, let us know in the comments below. I really don't need to see him. I personally think he's annoying. And he's a cocky bastard.
I think he told me once he was going to do some painting tutorials for his Drunk Angels.
Is that right?
And some conversion series, like how to make a drop pod.
Yeah, he's actually got a closet full of beer cans. I don't know what he's doing with those. I thought he was just collecting them and go bring them to the recycling place. So, I don't know. That cat worries me, man.
Did you not see that drop pod? It came in from space. It dropped from space. It's a drop pod.
It's a drop pod. Freaking Space Marines, because it came from space. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, there is a lot of tomfoolery going on right here. So
if you guys have made it this far, thanks for putting up with our salt.
Yeah.
Granted,
had to lighten it up a little bit. So
granted, we're not salty about everything in the FAQ. Just a couple specific points. Just one, really.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? It's still, and I think the reason why we do get salty is because we do have passion. We are passionate about the game. We enjoy the game. I came in on the tail end of 7th edition and migrated right into 8th, and I loved it, loved it, to the point that I even was able to bring my middle daughter in. She's in her early 20s, and she just fell in love with the game. She's played her first 200 points, and then now she's played her first 2,000 point game, and she absolutely loves the game and just got a kick out of it. So, I mean,
y'all are only playing 200 points.
Shut up, man.
And you brought aggressors?
Shut up, man. It was just to teach her. Just say it. That was right. She wanted to learn. She said, don't hold back. I said, oh, I won't. I ain't holding back for nothing. So yeah, taught her a lesson or three. Yep, better learn to pick your army well. Of course, it didn't help that.
What do you want? You want to play these tacticals? How about these scouts?
Well, like Bubba says, man, just let it happen, man. Just let it happen. It's okay. Nothing to see here. So, yeah, man. I mean, no, she got a really good kick out of and a good handle of the game. You know, we had a actually 2,500 point game that we played against Atlas, against his Tau, and she pretty much drove the whole way, and she got a good understanding of gameplay, psychic phases, and all that stuff. And it was a lot of fun, and she really enjoyed it. And that's the neat thing about this game is that, you know, doesn't matter what your background is or where you come from. You know, the game is there. It's a great, relaxing, enjoyable way to pass the time. And if you got this much imagination, well, then the game will take you the rest of the way. You know, and we're very passionate about this game. You know, I mean, we are. Look at, I mean, I'm talking to Methos. He's in a freaking hotel room painting.
Got to fit in my hobby somewhere.
Love it. I got to get back to doing this commission here. But anyway,
thank you so much for joining us, guys. If you enjoyed anything about this discussion that was kind of on the fly, not very structured, we went off topic like 18 times. We got a little salty there in the middle, and the end, and the part after the end. Anyways, so we understand it was probably not the best organized stream, but if you liked anything about it, then please do me a favor, grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. And of course, drop us some comments down below and let us know what you think of the current state of the FAQs are. And of course, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, then Freak and I,
come on,
part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys.
Get freaky
and stay frosty.
See you guys. Great video, guys. Take care.